ILene Vick here for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. It is Friday, March 22nd at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I am live. It is week 12 of 2024, and in my neck of the woods, it is currently 57 degrees with a high of 71 and a low of 48. All right. Welcome to my broadcast. I'm here for the next 3 hours for coloring, companionship, chat, friendship, giggles, and laughs, pretty pictures, off-key songs sometimes, prayers when necessary, and very importantly, the what, how, and why of adult coloring. Welcome to my YouTube peeps who come in and chat with me. That is always fun, although I know the majority of you watch me in replay. That works. Welcome to my YouTube peeps who do watch me in replay. And welcome to my Facebook peeps who will see this broadcast after the fact when I post it to my Facebook group, Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. All right. Let me set up my second monitor here. Hello, Sarah, Maggie, Christine, Mamie, so glad to see you. Mamie, so glad to greet you. And Maggie says, happy Friday, happy Friday, happy Friday. Happy Friday to one and all. Hey, Belle. Excuse me. Hopefully everybody's having a decent day. The three amigos are here. Uno, dos, tres. Linda, Michelle, Wally. That's pretty cool. Okay, so I always work on two projects. The first one is a duet that I give you for free. I ask that you pace me with it. It's meant as a one-on-one coloring project. I'm glad you guys are enjoying this piece. I'm working on this book. And Belle, I haven't forgotten about putting together a book with sayings in it. So Christine went to Michael's and didn't buy anything. Then went to Hobby Lobby and got some fun stuff. Cool. Hello, Sandy. Okay, so last night so that's the duet. And then we've been working on our little flower girl here. And last night I was playing around with some glitter. decided I didn't like it for the center of the flower, so I went with dots. So I left these last few flowers without the dots so that I can show you on camera how I did that. So the only thing that I have to do on this is finish the hair, put on a little bit of my background, and we're done. I hope you guys have been enjoying this project. I sure am. All right. So let me grab my paper towel and my scratch pad, and we'll keep going. Now, we decided on the red hair, green eyes, and some freckles. You're surprised I didn't add those stickers that are shaped like stones for the inside of the flowers. Belle, I don't think I have any stickers like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our skin color. And I need to pull a light, a medium, and a dark. These are my 3 colors if you're interested in emulating it. Here's my light, my medium, and my dark. All right. So I'm going to start up at the top here. Hi, Julie. All right, so let's get around these rim glasses here, which I think are ridiculously adorable. Don't forget, when you're in a bigger area like this, you want to do little circles. Isn't that adorable? Okay, let me brush that off. Now, I know for sure today's Friday. So I know for sure that Dorothy isn't here, so I'm going to say hi, Dorothy, because Dorothy watches. She's at Bible study at the moment. So it's Fridays that she's not here. All right. Now, we don't have any makeup to worry about with this little girl. Isn't that cute? Who's coloring this with me tonight? Now, I want to remind you, Sandy, you're coloring with me. Christine, great. Linda, great. Maggie, super. I want to remind you that when you're using oil-based pencils, which are the Color, which is the one I happen to be using, Dorothy, I'm using, when you watch this, Floral Pink number 317. That you need to color in layers. So that means when you lay down your original color, you need to go back and smooth out and fill in all those little gaps. Okay. What, Linda? What? You got 6 inches of snow today? Whoa. We have had 0 snow here in Tennessee. Well, I take that back. We had some snow come in, but oh my gosh. I can't say 0 snow at all. Okay, so work your base face color. Sandy said keep it. Okay, let's get our ear done here. So right now I'm taking my lightest pencil and putting in my base color. And then we'll come back in and detail with our other shades, which are our light, medium, which are our medium and our dark. Now, grayscale is not plug and chug, guys. But it is a new set of skills to learn. All right, let's go down to the hands. Linda, there's supposed to be an Easter event tomorrow. Okay. They fill a whole football field full of candy toys and all sorts of goodies. Oh, how cute. All right, let's get these hands done. Linda, who sponsors that? The book is going to come out within the next couple of weeks. I've got a bunch of people waiting for my first responders book. So that's what I've been working on. Okay. Isn't that adorable? Now I'm going to come in with my medium. Brittany, that's going to be our next duet picture. Now, our medium this is where I call what I call the shading colors. And the medium is where we go through and we start to define the highs and lows of the face. So it's not uptight against the hair, but it is shading in those areas that are going to be a little bit darker. For example, it'll be around the rim of the glasses. Let me hit that with a little bit of my eraser, which has gone somewhere. A pantry that your daughter and Wally volunteer at, not sure what they're going to do with the snow. Okay, can everybody see now how this medium, this is again just my shading. So for example, that medium color is going to show up in between the hair. Now, notice how the medium color is on either side of the nose. Oh, Linda, you weren't supposed to get snow? Now, you guys know when I do a face, I always do a curve between the eye and the side of the nose, right? So I'm going to do that, but I've just got to skip over my glasses. Isn't that beautiful? Everybody clear on this? So we're going to do that curve from the eye. See that? Down to the nose. And we'll do that same type of thing on the other side. And I want you to notice that in doing that, it's starting to create that little triangle area underneath the nose. And see how I'm working and swishing my pencil around the eyeglass, the glasses. And then I'm going to come in underneath the eye. That's that little U shape that we always make. And that starts to create the dimension underneath the lids. And I'll blend that out. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, Kitty, thank you. Guys, go ahead and paste in your links. Belle, Kitty, Emily. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing underneath the eye on this side. Notice how this lighter area shows up underneath around it. Isn't that cute? Any question on how I'm doing that? And again, don't pile drive your pencils. You want to color as though you're coloring on a balloon, and you don't want to pop that balloon. Don't murder your pencils. Yeah, who let the frogs out? You bet. Okay. Now I'm going to bring my color along the bottom here. And if you need to tone it down a little bit, take your light color and go back over that medium. All right. Oh, Brittany, that's good information. Now, I want you to notice that I'm also going underneath this glasses lens like I went underneath the eye. And then I'm going to leave the chin, the lighter color, all right, because we're already there. And I'm going to work up the other side of my piece. Now, I want you to notice this triangle that we have. We've got the nose, we've got the lighter area under the nose, and then we've got this chin area. And I'm going to add a little bit of a line underneath the lips. Notice how I'm lightly shading that in. And if you get a little too enthusiastic with your line, come back with your lightest color and tone it down. Let's bring this up just a little bit more. Alright, let's pull out and look at the whole effect. And then I'm going to blend all of this with my lightest pencil. Now, anybody that's new to the group, this image is available for you to color with me. We'll get it to you. Let me balance on the eyes a little more. I'm a little darker on this side than I want to be, so I'm going to go over that with my light pencil. Okay. Thank you, Kitty. And yeah, I agree with you, Brittany. The shoes do remind me of the Converse. Yeah. The shoes on here look really cool. Okay. Any questions on the face so far? Now let's take care of the ears. Now I'm coming in with my dark pencil. And then my medium. And then I'll come back with my medium on the top here. And blend all of that in. A little bit on the side. And notice by putting that color on the side, that gives us our depth, dimension, detail, our 3Ds. Anything that's darker, the brain perceives as being further away, and that's what makes that ear look rounded. Okay. I'm going to get that bottom part of that ear because that's looking funny. It seems like I'm going to have to do those Converse shoes red. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll just do, yeah, we'll think about that. Okay, let's do this other ear. We have our light color to start. I'm going to pop in a little bit of my dark up in that corner. And then our medium. No, I don't have her wearing tights. That's skin. Okay, back with my medium. And then what? What did I just do? We put a little bit of our medium on this outside to make that ear look like it's dimensional. Right? That's where I said putting a little bit of a dark shade on the outside of something makes it look like it's curving away. Here's my light color. And then my medium for my edge. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to my left ear a moment. And I'm going to use my pencil eraser and just lighten this up a little so that we have an even balance with the ear on the right, which is to her left. Now remember, you can use your pencil eraser like a pencil. It's that Tombow. Okay, now that was our light medium on our skin. Now I'm going to come in with my dark. And this is where we're going to stick close to the edge. including to the edge of the hair. And this is what starts to give us our complete dimension. Remember how I told you that when you make something dark, it makes it look further away and recessed. So the minute that I add this darkest color, everything around it, such as the glasses, start to come out dimensionally. Okay, now we want our glasses to be dimensional. And what we're actually doing is we're adding a shadow around the object. And when you add that line, you want to be sure to blend that out. Meaning what? It seamlessly disappears into the color around it. See how I'm doing that? Be very, very sure that you don't end up with a harsh line next to the object. And this is where I'm shadowing to make that object look like it's sitting on top of it, on top of the face, which is the glasses. Can you guys see how these glasses are starting to look dimensional? Now, close up, it looks a little wonky. But this is my teaching style. I zoom in on the area that I'm coloring. So that you can see exactly what I'm doing. You don't see this detail when you normally look at an object. And look how cool that looks. Now, I'm bringing the shadowing down on the face a little more. Still darkest right near the edge, but I'm also playing with it coming down on the face. So here's where we have our three colors, our dark, our medium, and our light. Hi, Stacy. And I want you to look at the difference now between the two lenses. How this one looks more dimensional, right? Let me smooth this out just a little bit. So I'm coming in with my medium just to blend this. Everybody see that? Yes, no, maybe. Oh, ridiculously cute. All right, let's go ahead and do the same thing with our other lens. Again, I'm using, look at the difference, guys. Can you see the difference? Okay. Next lens. Notice how I'm sweeping back and forth. And that's because I'm not coming in gangbusters with my pencil. Some people will just shove their pencil into the paper to get that darker line. My group should know better than that. And then I'm going to take my medium and blend it out. Which means what? I'm softening that line between the two shades. Okay, Emily, thank you. I'm going to finger blend that. All right. Now, I want you to notice as well that the shadowing is thicker on here on the bottom. Than it will be on the top. So on the top, I'm not going to go out quite that distance, but I am going to add just a little bit of my shadowing. Everybody see that? And I'm also going to add my shadowing at the base of my hair. Oh, I'm having way too much fun with this. Are you learning something? What a cutie. All right. I'm going to define the nose just a little bit more. My darkest color will go into the nostril. And my medium color in between and towards the outside. And then my light color to blend all that in. Maggie, Linda, how are you doing? And if you're not coloring this with me tonight, what are you coloring? Guys, take your time. Okay. Maggie, you're doing A-okay. Linda, you're doing okay. Emily says, be right back. Let's look at our creation. Isn't that ridiculously cute? And notice how I specifically shaded the glasses to make it look especially cute. All right. Medium pencil. Then I'm going to come back with my light pencil. We're going to soften these lines. Notice how the lightness is on the right-hand side here. Our right, her left. Sandy, good night. Christine, you switched skin colors 3 times. Okay. All right. Good night, Sandy. Good night, Sandy. Good night, Sandy. So glad you were with us today. All right, let's do the hands. Here's my medium color. Now you need to think about where your light is going to be, which will be right on top. That's your lightest. Here's our medium. Let me sharpen up. Let me go back to my light to blend. And because colored pencil is the way it is, notice that my medium color does not go away. And then I'm going to use my dark to shade in where my hands come together and in between my finger and at the base of my sweater. Everybody see where I'm going with this? Let's get in between those fingers a little bit. Too cute. Any questions on doing this stuff? Okay. Darkest pencil, closest to my edge, blending it out a little. There we go. Back with my medium, just to get rid of that transition line. And we'll go ahead and just put a little bit of that by the rim of the sock. Okay, let's do the other leg. Now, the sock has slid down. Either she doesn't have a sock on or it's slid down. I wouldn't mind leaving it as though she doesn't have it on. But somebody would look at that and say, oh, that's a messed up picture. So I'm going to erase that out. And for the moment, I'm going to take a light gray pencil and we'll go ahead and put that edge in. And I would challenge you to tell me that that wasn't there before. Hello, BFF. Okay, let's go ahead and get that left leg. So I'm coming in with my medium on the shadowing. I'm going to put a little bit of shading right here. Then I'm going to come back with my light pencil and what? Merge that line. We'll soften that up between the two colors. And then I'm going to use my darkest pencil on the edge. Now, I want you to notice in this case we have a light area here on the outside. I'm just going to put a little bit of my darkest color there. So we still have that little bit of that gap. Welcome to everybody that's popping in for the first time. This image is available for you to color along with me. And then I'm going to add a little bit of shading along that line I drew in. We are in good shape. All right, let me pull out. Questions, comments? Let me look at something. Okay, so we decided that we're going to do red hair. So in order to start that process, Guys, are you learning something? All right. Let's see what we got here. Linda, you had to reboot. Okay, I like to start with a brown. So this is a brownish red. Let me swatch it for you. And then I'll be let's see. I'll be adding a red on top of it. But at the moment, I'm going to use my brownish red to start this out. All right. I'm starting at the very top here. And the idea is that when I go to add my red, the red is going to have that brownish tint to it because it's my base color. Depending on what your shade is, Christine, on your brown, how light it is. If your brown is lighter, you could go with an Indian red. But my brown is darker. Yeah, you could use an Indian red. Play with it. Now, when you're asking about an Indian red, I'm assuming that you're asking about the color that's going to go on top of your brown. All right. So your brown first, and then we'll do the red on top of that. I'll pull out in a second so you can see where I am. Okay, I am on the left hand side here. Her right. All right, let me move over here. Notice how I'm sweeping my pencil? And then I'm going to come back up to the top. Now the red coloring will come in after this. Right now I'm using my reddish brown. All right, Stacy. Okay. Sharpener's acting up. Give me a second here. All right, let me pull out. So I'm going to temporarily stop because I need to be working on my next project, which I'll be finishing up tonight. So putting this one on pause for the moment. Any questions? I'm doing my darkest brown right now with my brownish red. Okay. Not too much more to go on this. So last night I got to Belle, where do you need me to move a little closer on the side? Which side? Here you go. Did you see what you needed to see? Okay, good. All right. So last night I was thinking about working with some glitter in between these flowers, and I decided that that wouldn't make this look as classy as I want it to look. So Belle, what stones are we talking about? So I'm going to take some acrylic white, this is it happens to be Apple brand, and it is called, of all things, Snow White. It's matte acrylic paint. And what I'm doing is I'm taking that paint and you want me to put the stones where, Belle? So I've got the stems of the flower, and I'm going to take my toothpick inside the flower. I hadn't really planned on doing that. And what I'm doing is I'm adding little dots up the stems. Check out how cool that looks. Isn't that cool looking? There we go. And if you have a little bit of more paint than what you want, just take your toothpick and push it off. Because the neat thing is, as it dries, the consistency of it allows you to create these changes. There we go. All right, let me pull out. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? Now, I think I got all my flowers. Let me pull out and show you the whole thing. So what do you think? Oh, hello, Cher. I'll say hi, Sherry, once. Isn't that beautiful and delicate? All right, I'm going to set this right-hand page off to the right. That paint, though, is almost dry enough that I can touch it. I mean, it is rapid touch. Sherry, let me show you what we did earlier. we're working on making a redhead. And I was showing people how to shadow the eyeglasses to make them look dimensional. And I'll be putting a little bit of blush on her and pinking up her cheeks, and then of course doing the eyebrow. Okay. So let's get her hair finished. Anybody remember what I used on the hair? All right, I'm using 4 pencils. I'm using a light, a medium, and a dark gray. The light is basically our base color that we put in. So now I'm using the medium, the darkest gray, which is my Payne's gray, and black. So that's what I'm using. And I want to drive home the point that you don't just use black on black hair. Excuse me. Oh, Christine, good night. Haven't forgotten about the spider book. Okay. So let's continue with doing our hair. Paper towel, of course. I'm going to start out with my medium gray. Now I'm not using my Payne's gray yet. And the whole point of doing this is to give your piece multiple shades of the gray enhanced with the black, which makes the hair black. You always want to use different shades of whatever color you're using, and that's really going to step up your piece. I'm going to color this in by the hand. So this is my medium gray. I want you to notice on the strand that I just did that I'm not coloring it all medium. Excuse me if I was off camera. All right, so check out how my medium gray is starting to give that dimension on top of my light gray. All right. Now, I'm going to slide back up, and I'm going to come in with my Payne's Gray. And I'm going to start defining my curls. Check it out. And this is where you need to look at your piece and decide what's laying on top of what. So for example, this curl right here is laying on top of this area right here. Start doing this piece, you're going to naturally see where your shading and shadowing of your hair is going to be. You've seen hair before. You know how it looks. Julie, good night. And notice how I'm working on the edges of these curls. And that'll start to define where I need to put this stuff. Now, again, Payne's Gray, defining my curls, my high points and my low points. And guys, if anybody has questions, ask. All right, let me pull out so you can see this. And Sherry, that's exactly true. Now, for those of you that joined me late, this is the second project for tonight. This is the first one that we're working on. We're doing a cute little girl sitting in an eggshell. And we're working on red hair. Oh, and that's exactly right, guys. I keep forgetting to ask. Please, 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 please hit that thumbs up. That is so important to me. And when you're coloring strands of hair like that, look for these areas that are going to be darker, kind of the ditches, D-I-T-C-H-E-S, the ditches in the hair. In other words, your high and your low points. And notice if I want to make a strand come to life, so this strand right here is a high point. It's on top of stuff. So we need to go with our darker color next to it. We're just going to color in that edge to make that hair strand stand out. Everybody clear on that? All right, I'm at the very bottom. Notice how I'm doing a repetitive stroke. Don't jam your pencils into the paper. Oh, is that beautiful? All right, let me pull out. Check it out. Okay. Now, the way this is colored right now, and I haven't put in my black yet, this looks pretty stringy. And part of the reason is the way that light hair is showing up. So I'm going to take my Payne's Gray and I'm very, very lightly going to tint over these lighter spots. Now again, through the magic of colored pencil, our lighter spots don't go away. That's what makes this medium so neat. And notice how much better this looks that we don't have these glaring light spots. Now, it was necessary to color in those spots first, but now I'm going to go back. I'm now going back and toning them down. That's part of the colored pencil process. Everybody with me on that? Oh, that looks so cool. Kitty, good night. Guys, can you see the difference? So as I pull out, look at the difference between the top of the head and part way down, where I'm filling in and toning the white down a little bit, or the lighter color down a little bit. And the area down here, which looks very stringy. See it? And the way that you make this work is understanding how colored pencil works, in that you can layer them. Check it out. Now, see how streaky this looks? That's just part of the coloring process of building that up. The question came up, why do you color something one color and then go back and change it? That just has to do with the artistic look. Last night I was working on the face. I erased in the neck, and I erased off some of the color to lighten that up. I could have taken a white pencil and done the same, but I wanted to do it with the eraser because it gave me a more subtle look. Okay, back to the hair. Payne's Gray. Very lightly on top, like you're coloring over a balloon. Are you guys learning something? Is this making sense? Are you confused? All right, let me pull out. All right. Now, what's the next color that I'm going to come in with, guys? Guys, what's the next color I'm going to come in with? I'm just doing a little touch up here on her outfit. And the answer is black. You can see about here where I stopped shading in with the black. So now I'm going to come in with my black. And I'm going to look for those areas that I can color black or darker that makes the hair next to it stand out. So before I was doing shading with my Payne's Gray. Now I'm doing shadowing. Can you see the difference? I want you to be able to do this on your own. So we have a light, medium, and dark gray. And then our black. check it out. Well, hello, Random. Welcome. Guys, will you please welcome Random? I need to go grab Vicky. Give me a second. One more second, guys. Here you go. Okay. Here. Go on. Come here. There you go. Right there. Okay. Come on, back up. Thank you guys for your patience. Okay. Black. And what do I always tell you? Turn your pencil. When you do that lift, do a little turn. Now, see how I'm working in between the curls? And I'm darkening my area underneath the hand. Let me get rid of a little bit of this black that ended up on the hand. So we want to shade underneath the finger, right? Check out underneath here. And right next to my strands. Now, again, if your strands get too light because of the black that we're adding on either side, this is important. Go ahead and take your Payne's Gray and mute them down a little bit. It's all about balance. Does that make sense? Guys, let me ask you this. Do you feel that you would be capable of coloring this hair based on what I'm showing you? Do you understand the process? Now, the addition of my black is what's creating my highlights on this piece. That's why when I say is I highlight with my black color. All right, let me pull out. Check it out. Now I'm going to change up my hair on the top a little bit. I'm going to add some more black. Around the hair that is outlining the ear. See how I'm doing my shading with it? Isn't that cool? And I want you to notice that the black that I'm putting on here is not a solid black, which is what makes your pictures look flat, but it's a tinted black because I'm putting it on top of my lighter gray colors. Check it out. Now, this is our division line on our black of our hair. So I'm going to shade that edge just a little bit, not much. And then I'm going to take my eraser and I'm going to clean up that line because I don't want it looking fuzzy. and let me pull out. What do you think? I'm 98% done. Now, I debated back and forth about finishing off the hair up here with the black, but I felt that ultimately that would ruin the effect of what I'm doing here. And that is I'm picking a swatch of the page and coloring it. And there's my swatch right there. Brittany, it depends on the piece. All right. So I'm going to take my pencil eraser and erase around the outside. Now, if I had been doing this entire piece in color, I would be doing the entire background on here a very light gray and variations thereof. So right now I'm just cleaning my outside here. Now, you may want to know why I'm not using my gummy eraser, and that's because the gummy eraser isn't aggressive enough to get the haze around the piece. Linda, good night. Check out the tail end of the broadcast. I'm doing one more thing with the background. And I just found a flower where I missed my white. I will fix that off camera. Actually, I'm going to fix it now. Because it's only going to take me 2 seconds to do it. All right. And it's so funny how when you color something like this, didn't mean to use that much white, but I did. Don't you hate that when you over pour product? All that paint for 8 dots. Oh my. Okay, it happens. All right, absolute last thing on this. So as I mentioned, I would have been using a light gray, a light and a medium gray on this for the background. So let me grab my Faber-Castell. You can use eyeshadow to do this. Works beautifully. Lay down, Vicky. I'm going to grab my paper towel. Grab my lightest gray out of my chalks with that paper towel. And add it to the background. Now, what I want you to notice is I'm confining this light gray around the area where I have colored in the young lady with my colored pencil. So in other words, I'm doing a swatch from the lower left to the upper right of the gray behind her. Now I'm going to take my triangle here. This is my area for my gray below her. And I'm going to use that as a border to tell me where to stop the gray. Isn't that cool? Everybody see that swatch of gray? And if you accidentally go a little farther than you intended, just erase it, because this eyeshadow erases very easily. Guys, can you see that swatch of gray on this whole piece? It's right here. And then I'm going to come in with a slightly darker gray. And put that on in little circles. On my lighter gray. Don't put too much on there. And of course, the shades of gray that you use, I'm using a second darker gray. To create these swirls. Let me pull out. Can you see the swatch of gray on this? I hope you can because it looks pretty nifty. Then I'm going to get a clean spot on my paper towel and blend that in. Okay, what's my very last step now? I'll give you a hint. It's a cleanup step. Who remembers? Thank you, Mamie. Give that lady a gold star. Guys, check this out. Isn't that gorgeous? And actually, I just noticed something here. Oh. I didn't extend my gray to my second page. So let me line up my coloring. Let me line up my pages. Grab my paper towel, start with my lightest gray. If it comes in a little darker than what you expected, take your gummy eraser and fix it. I love it. Then I'm going to take my standard eraser here and make sure my line is straight. And then after I stretch out my gummy eraser here just to kind of clean it off and soften it, any area of the colored pencil that borders with the eyeshadow, I'm going to use it and what it does is it pulls off any of that eyeshadow that got onto my colored image. Now, I don't have very many spots that happened. I do have it by the neck. And I have the area down here by this flower, the greenery, and part of the blouse. And then, as the very last thing, if you want to be super fancy with this, is take your gummy eraser and color in, erase in some light areas, kind of like clouds. Now, I'm thinking that I don't like that effect. So, I'm going to get rid of it. If you like it, keep it. Have at it. All right, back with my gummy eraser. Let me pull out. I am calling this one done. Guys, what do you think? Questions, comments? Now, make sure that your grays match above and below your piece. Let me get this in full camera view. If your gray at the top is a little darker than your gray at the bottom, which mine is, that is a very simple fix. Just swipe in a little bit of the darker gray. Check it out. I love this piece. I think it turned out really well. And if you feel that you have a little splotch of gray that you don't like, just take your gummy eraser and gently erase over it and lighten it up. Oh, that's much better. Okay, guys, I'm calling it an evening. I think we got a beautiful piece out of this. I'm very happy with it. Brittany, the gray here on the image is the background. The rest of it is white. And the whole concept of this piece is that we colored in an area that highlights a portion of it. Now, notice when I selected my line here as to where the color was going to stop, I didn't come down very far on the outfit. I just wanted, good night, Stacy. Good night, Mamie. I just wanted to highlight the shoulder and part of the blouse. I've got one area that I missed. Hang with me if you can. We're going to go down near the bottom here of the sweater. And I missed shadowing in the crease. Good night, Maggie. All right, hang with me while I just do this last bit of shading, guys. I know I'm running over time. Did you learn something watching this? Check it out. Okay, now I'm happy. Maggie, thanks for hanging with me. All right, now I'm calling it fully done. Okay, guys, I hope you learned something new. Well, and not only new, I just hope you learned something. Belle, you're still here. Thank you. Okay, guys. This is ILene Vick for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. Guys, joyous, joyous coloring. I hope this gave you some ideas. Now, one last quick comment. You can bring in a gray pencil and also shade in a little bit of color. So if you notice something that is spotty or not quite how you like it, bring in a colored pencil. And that's what I've done with this, or I'm doing with this gray. I just want to show you that. Got this a little darker than I wanted. Everybody clear on that? So you can tweak your shading with your gray pencil. And in fact, what I'm going to do is take my gray pencil and very, very lightly define that border. Okay, guys, I am done. Take care. Love you guys. Hope you learned something, like I said. Hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed this project. I hope that it gave you ideas. Take a look at the projects that you're doing. And see if it would be cool to do this technique with it. All right, guys. So here's our flower lady. Here's our little girl in our egg. I will have a new second project tomorrow. All right, guys. Guys, joyous, joyous coloring. Love on each other. That's what we're known for. Have a great rest of the evening. And you know when I zoom in, I always fuss a little bit. Oh, gosh. There we go. All right, guys. Love you. I promise you I'm leaving. Bye.